Let me know if you see anything you like.
Yes? What is it that you want? Ah, it's you. Yes, well, now we'll see if the stories about you are true. There's a group of bandits in my hold that I may have had a few discreet dealings with. The cut they were giving me was good at first, but now it's time to clean things up. Go and take care of it. Good. My uncle Dengir was Jarl until a short time ago. His old age and failing health caught up with him, and he stepped down. He now serves us honorably as Thane, and to the great benefit of the hold, I now serve as Jarl. Execute every last bandit. Spare no one.
Did you see a hound on the road? Fine, strong creature that's been wandering near town. There's one out on the road. I can't afford to chase him down, but I could use a fierce, loyal beast to keep me company. If you were willing to retrieve him for me, I'd give you some fresh meat to attract him out on the road. Oh, it's smart to demand something up front. Some gold now, and some when I have my dog. Here's the meat.
Oh, hello there. What can I do for you? Blades, gauntlets, I can forge anything you need. I'm Lord's apprentice, although I've been his for less than a season. Before that, I was with Adriana Benici in Whiterun, and before that, Berend in Solitude. I'm on a sort of pilgrimage. When I'm finished, my family expects me to return to Cyrodiil and take over the forge. My name's Isabel, by the way. Pleased to meet you. It depends. I've been taught that emotions are a powerful part of smithing. When I craft a shield, I think of the soldier's child praying for a safe return. For a sword, I envision a man getting revenge for a brother's death. When I imagine a soldier marching after battle, or a hero vanquishing a great evil, that's when my hammer feels most inspired. Just to know that I was a part of that it was my steel, it just takes your breath away thinking about it. Not just any family. Ever heard of the Starblood Forge? My family has been the caretaker of it for centuries. It was made not long after the Oblivion Crisis, and next to the old memorial and the hero statue, it's one of the most iconic landmarks in Kvatch. They say it was built atop a well of Daedric blood, and it's in that well that the weapons are cooled. Some even say that the forge itself is haunted, specifically with the soul of one of my ancestors. Legend has it that when the Daedra invaded, she refused to leave her shop, smithing weapons for the townsfolk until the last man had fallen. That's why only those who share her blood can use the forge, and tradition that the firstborn daughter would be the one to inherit it. That would be me. It's an honor, I suppose. I know. Some people think it's the pressure or the burden of carrying on the family name, but the truth is, it's a client's. It's not like the Skyforge here. If I took over the family business, I would be crafting swords for nobles. They would be decorative art pieces, locked away in display cases, or mounted over their beds. I would be an artist more than a blacksmith. There'd be no blood on my blades, no chinks in my armor. That's not what I want. I want to craft weapons for heroes. I want to forge weapons that will slay tyrants and craft armor that repels dragon fire. The forge is old and requires a lot of maintenance just to keep running. Plus it takes up a lot of land, and taxes are charged accordingly. Mother hasn't taught me how to work the Starforge just yet, but from what I understand, it's also extremely delicate. Selling highly decorative, high-end craftsmanship is the only way the business can survive. I probably shouldn't have used the word haunted. It's not like that at all. She's more of a guardian spirit. When it comes time for me to inherit the forge, there's a ritual. A test, actually. Like my mother before me, and my grandmother before her, I must craft an object that best represents my ideals and spirit. If the object is deemed worthy, it will earn its place in the Underforge, alongside the blades, shields, and hammers of my ancestors. That's sort of what this pilgrimage is about. I'm here not just to learn from the masters, but to learn about myself. At least, that's what I told my mother. The truth is, I chose Skyrim because of the war, and the chance to forge for true warriors. You know your history. Fact is, they took a lot of cities, Kvatch included. But my mother says they never would have held it. They hear her tell it, we would have taken Kvatch back, if not for the Concordant. And her blades would have killed a whole lot of Talmor. Still, the treaty did give us our home back. And if there's one thing the people of Kvatch know, it's how to rebuild. The responsibility of the forge would likely go to the next daughter in line, my sister Felicia. A fine choice. She has always been the more creative smith. Diamond-encrusted pommels, hilts that shimmered like drake scales. Everything she made was beautiful. And it wouldn't matter that the blades couldn't cut warm butter. Nobody would ever use them for battle. Alright. It's alright. Although we've gotten a lot less visitors after the dragon attacked Helgen. That's what I enjoyed most. Meeting all the travellers who crossed the border from Cyrodiil and sharing stories of home. But now you're here, and I can tell just by looking at your hands that you've got stories to tell. Somehow I find that hard to believe, but modesty, that's something I wouldn't put past you. Or you could be lying, but I prefer to imagine my lady as humble rather than sneaky. Blades, helmets, pretty much anything that suits your needs. Good steel's worth every septim.
You have a
Remember that.
grim look. Fine, let's trade then. Go where the challenge is greatest.
Oh, sure, take it all.
When I
Oh,
arrived,
sure,
I
take it
forgot
all.
This town has such a large cemetery. I thought the people were kind. They thought I was mourning.
Oh, sure, take it all.
Sir Lord, is it true you weren't always a blacksmith?
Yes, I was Dengir's personal guard for years. I risked my hide more than once to...
Sure, I can take
You must
something
miss those
for you.
days. But if you can't swing your weapon, forging one's the next best thing.
I'm right behind you.
There's been some attacks lately. Take a look. Until next time.
My blood's calm. I prefer... Fine, let's trade then. Malakath, witness our deeds.
If it's a duel you seek, stranger, then I suggest you leave. I am not here to fulfill your desire for pain, or free you from your wretched existence. At least, not today. Ah, yes, and what, pray tell, do you wish to converse about, hmm? Politics? Religion? My two favorite subjects. Perhaps you wish to discuss both. How delightful. But why bother with the foreplay? You seek vengeance for your loved ones, that's why you want to talk. That's why everyone wants to talk. Well, you're too late. I am no longer a Thalmor. The clothes are just that. Clothes. I will not discard a perfectly adequate robe. Interesting. I was quite certain this conversation would become gradually more belligerent, not less. Is it possible that there is one individual in this bull netch of a province that is capable of reason? It is a rather simple matter. I disobeyed a direct order from my superior. I was stationed in Markarth with two others. We were investigating a family that kept abnormal hours, staying up well past midnight. Unfortunately, myself and one of the other justiciars got into an argument over the children. The fool thought they were innocent. They were future rebels. The moment we arrested their parents, they would forever despise us. The wisest course was to execute them. The issue was made irrelevant, however, when the entire family was found murdered. That is insignificant. The family was dead and no longer worshipped Talos. Moreover, by letting a murderer run amok, we prevented the family from becoming martyrs. There was just one problem. Everyone assumed I was the murderer. It didn't help that I've been a rather vocal proponent of mass execution. So we decided it was best to use this perception to our advantage. Now, I never confessed to the crime, but I was stripped of my rank and exiled. This gave the perception that justice was served. The only thing I know is the person was quite efficient and extremely disturbed. The rest would be mere speculation. Ondolamar estimated that Talos worship would decrease by 1/3 in the wake of the murders. I don't know if that's true, but I wouldn't doubt his calculation. Of course, the Thalmor are not the Empire. We do not share their frothing obsession with bureaucracy. Talk to them and you'll see. Find a soldier and ask him to file a report. Then watch as his mouth becomes a pond of saliva. Although, I suggest you don a helmet in advance. One of those dwarven ones, lest his response shower your cheek. We are the first people. Mortals fashioned in the mold of the divines. We don't have to respect anyone save ourselves. That is the whole point for this war. To put everyone in their rightful place. Rest assured, there will be no attempts made upon your drink. All we ask is that you acknowledge the truth. They are tolerant because they are afraid. As for the Jarl, it matters not whether Sidgir or Dengir is in charge. Because when two buffoons of equally damaged minds vie for a throne, the reasonable citizens lose interest in the process. As such, more voice is given to the fools. And with fools in charge, the law becomes meaningless. Here, power makes the rules. They are not organized. There are only the occasional challenges, brought forth by those emboldened by drink. I usually deflect their taunts and tell them to return in the morning when they have sobered. None ever do. There's nothing to tell. They act brave and fight poorly. The last one who challenged me was too busy rattling off the names of the relatives I had supposedly extinguished to even bother raising his shield. I think he was fumbling through what must have been a small army of second cousins when I set his weapon on fire. Yes, and this is after I told him I was no longer a justiciar. But he was a rather stubborn Nord. It is a temporary escape. I do not plan on remaining in this hovel of a kingdom beyond the next season. My plan is to return to the Somerset Isle after doing a little sightseeing. Yes, I have noticed. Dead man's drink. Grave concoctions. How quaint. The humor does not extend to the barracks or the cemetery, however. I find it counterproductive, considering that is where it is needed most. All right, then.
Come on in. Just stoke the fire. Take a seat and get the cold out. At some point we should try a thick lawn here.
Smell that fresh air?
Could just spend less
Truly,
time
this is a
serving
good
dengue.
place to play a song.
I wish I could afford to pay you both, Nari.
For
I
a
really-
generous fellow traveler. But of course, what would you like to hear? Ysmir's blessing on you. This one's a favorite of mine. A legend we all know and love. Our hero claims a warrior's heart. I tell you,
You're
I
going to have
tell
the men
you,
around
the
here wrapped around your
dragonborn
finger in no
comes,
time.
where the voice
Depends.
wielding power
Are you
of the
thirsty, hungry,
ancient
both?
sword art. Believe,
Aye.
the dragonborn comes. It's an end to the evil of all Skyrim's foes. Beware,
Welcome to Dead Man's
beware,
Drink.
The dragonborn comes, for the darkness has passed, and the legend yet grows. You'll know,
Sure thing.
you'll
It's yours for a
know
day.
The dragonborn's come.
Folks have gone missing the past few weeks. Word now's that our hunters are gone too. Say, if you're traveling, could you keep an eye out for them? Valder and his men, I think they were after Bear up north. Here, take a look at this. Here, take a look at this. I'll show you to your room. Right this way.
The life of adventure and song is the life for us, eh, friend?
I met the love of my life at a tavern. She was a tall glass of ale. 2 weeks later, I left her for a hunting bow. Commitment has never really been my forte.
Let me know if there's anything else you need. I escaped fighting in Cyrodiil, only to have it track me down again in Skyrim. I'll be right here if you need anything else.
Did I ever tell you about the time I drank 6 sellswords under the table? Of course, some say it was only 5, given I was the 6th.
This town reeks of the dead. The odor is sour, pungent. Gets right under your scales.
Unless you intend to bury someone, this isn't the place you're looking for, traveler.
Can I get you something?
Somebody help! Help! Never should have come here.
I've had enough. You can't win this!
No sign of her.
Must have scared him off.
I've had enough of you.
Good dog.
You're dead.
You have a grim look. You have a grim look. Fine. Let's trade then. Malakath. Witness our deeds.
Heard they're reforming a Dawn Guard. Vampire hunters or something in the old fort near Riften. Might consider... joining up myself.
You are exactly what I was looking for. Yeah, Skyrim is now host to giant flying... You see, my name is Barbas, and I have a problem. My master and I had a bit of a falling out. He's kicked me out until I find someone who can... You're very funny. Thank you. I know there's a... If this works out... I'll make sure you're rewarded. Hey, just don't trust any offer he makes you, okay?